In this one, I wanted to go over something I've done for this, for sanitizing the bottles. Now you can sanitize the bottles using a dishwasher, but it's only about 150 degrees. I'm a little antsy about whether that's going to really do a good job. Plus, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, what I've come up with, and this has worked out really good, is this doohickey. Now, this is big enough to put in to my boil kettle, and I'm using my boil kettle as a sanitizer. I simply put the beer bottles in like that. Okay, this will hold 20, and I'm usually doing around 40 or maybe a few more. You can see the bottom is well off the bottom of the pot. So I put about a gallon of water in the bottom of the pot and start it boiling, and then leave it in there for about 20 minutes. Okay, that should sanitize these bottles. So, how did I put this together? Okay, I got 5 6-inch by quarter 304 stainless bolts and nuts. I couldn't get an eye bolt out of stainless, so I used a coupling nut here in the center one, and so I've got a hook that I can lift it out with. Now I can only put one of these in the brew pot. The brew pot's a 40 quart. If it was a 60 quart, I could probably put 2 of them in it, but it works out okay. Because when I get this one, I boil this one, then I pull it out. It's already the rack. It's the rack I'm going to use. I'm never going to move these bottles off here until I fill them, so there's no more handling. So there's no more chance of getting bad stuff in there. So I will simply take this out, set it down right by where I'm bottling, and pull each one out as I go. Okay, I've made a second one because you really need 2. And this one's not done yet. I have cut all the holes in the perimeter. I've got 7 more to cut there. Now there's 2 ways you can put holes in this. By the way, let me go over what this material is. This is stainless steel. I think it's 304. I wouldn't say 304 is the best to use. I'd like to use like 18.2 or something. But this is what I have. The free stuff. This was a panel off of a unit I had that was stainless. And you can cut like an 1.5 inch hole in here with a hole saw. I didn't have a hole saw that was, well, the only one I had was too dull to do it. And stainless is a little hard to cut with a hole saw. You can do it, it's a sharp saw. But what I did is I took a pair of tin snips and I cut these holes. I cut them from this side, and I cut them a little bit small, and then I took well, let me show you what I used. Now remember, I was cutting these things just with a pair of tin snips. This is probably 28 gauge. But I took this, which is just a socket, and I pounded it through there to make these indentations here. Okay, it kind of just forms it. It looks kind of terrible, but after you're done, you can straighten it all up. It also gives the sheet a little more strength. Okay, I'm going to go over how I did this. I've marked the holes, and left-hand snips. I want these a little bit small so they'll have that edge to knock in. Like I said, you can do it with a hole saw, and it's probably a lot easier. However, this is very thin sheet metal, and you put a bunch of glasses in it, and it's probably going to sag and probably catch on the sides of the brew kettle. So I'm not too unhappy about how this has come out, by the way, just so you know. I place it over this hole, centered in there. The hole's done. Okay, so I'll do that. I got 4 left, and then it'll be ready to go. One thing I haven't gone over is there's a lot of sharp edges on this from these tin snips. I'm going to take a drill with a stone on it and just try to smooth them out with that drill, and also straighten up this plate. Once I'm done, I'm going to put it in a pot and boil it for a while to try to clean it up and then flush out the pot. Okay, here we have both of them completed. This is the one I already had. This is the one I just made. Not totally flat, but you know, it's never going to be. So this should work good. Should give me really sanitary bottles, because the 2 things it does, number 1, the bottles are upside down in it, like that, and water's boiling underneath. That's going to sanitize them, but when I pull them out and then I put them on the floor, I haven't touched the bottles and they've not come in contact with anything. I can simply turn it upright and fill it. I'll start with one in a brew pot, and when I take it out, I'll have another one ready to put in the brew pot and boil it. I'm going to show you how it fits inside the brew pot. Okay, as I drop this in, it's a fairly tight fit. It doesn't have to be. It sits in the bottom like that. I've got my gallon of water underneath and bottles in like that. Boil it. Take it out. Ready to go. Just set it down, pull the bottles out when I want to put the beer in them. Anyway, that's it on my little bottle sanitizer. So, that's my new toy.